Welcome back to another sunny do-it-yourself day on Little Bear. We're going to start right out of the gate with step 6 in the control lever project. And step 6 is to drill some holes. I still have the template in place, and these little guys here are little holes that need to be drilled to mount the control head up inside. So that's what I'm about to do. The holes have been drilled, and it's time for step 7, which is to do a test mount of the control head. We're getting very close here. One little anecdote: the manufacturers of the control head, I don't think we're counting on somebody installing their product on this boat. The fiberglass in the cockpit here, I think it's probably about 3/8 of an inch thick. Like everything on a Westsail, it's way overdone. Let me show you. This is the self-tapping screw that comes with the control head. And it doesn't leave a whole lot of room once it passes through the fiberglass. However, I'm going to give it a shot, and hopefully it works out okay. Step 8 is to actually mount the controlling bracket. The construction and installation of this thing is a little bit different than I expected. It would have been relatively simple to put the control head up from the inside and push bolts through from the outside, but they have designed it and instruct that the cables and the control head go through the template hole and then get manipulated to the place where you can put the mounting screws through into the fiberglass. So I'm going to attempt that and see how it holds up. So the control head is mounted and in. It took a little bit more finessing than I had expected. The tolerances around the control head are very, very fine. So I had to use my fine tool and trim back the fiberglass in just the right places in order to get it mounted. But it is mounted. Tick-a-boo. Voila. The new control head. So I'm fairly happy with that. I'm going to clean up the old fairing compound in behind that. I'll take it back out, clean up the fairing compound, prime around where the cover plate is going to go, paint it around where the cover is going to go, and then permanently install it. But first, step 10, which is to hook up the other end of the cables. These are the other cable ends. Now, I almost pulled a catastrophic Dread Pirate Biff maneuver the other day. These are the old cables here, and I actually took them home and put them in the bin because garbage, right? This one's bent and useless, and the other one is just old. But what I had failed to calculate for was these little bits on the end. That guy and that guy. They, of course, are what connects the control cables to the engine controls. So I would have been kind of hoop-de-doop without them. So I need to remove these, which is going to be fairly simple, and replace them on the new cables. Cable installation went nice and smoothly. It's basically just a matter of tightening up a couple of nuts and throwing a couple of lock washers, putting them in place. Worked just fine. I did a test run on the engine, and the throttle works exactly like a throttle should. The gear shift lever works exactly like a gear shift lever should. So I am going to now remove the control head and start cleaning up. I'll start by vacuuming everything out because there's a bunch of fiberglass and dust and crap, and then I will start sanding the inside of the cockpit area. I still have to put some fairing epoxy on the 2 holes that I filled, which I will probably do today. But other than that, I would say that the control head project is complete. It is now time to test my fiberglass nuts to see how they worked out. I'm hoping that the threads on the nuts aren't filled with thickened epoxy, but in case they are, I bought myself a little brush to brush up the threads on the bolts, and we'll see what happens. The Fiberglass Nut Experiment has gone fairly well, not as well as I would have hoped. I had 2 nuts that came unglued when I undid the screws, so the epoxy that was holding up place either didn't have good contact between the nut and the lip, or perhaps the epoxy itself wasn't mixed well or something, I don't know. But 2 out of 12 came undone, which isn't bad. The rest worked just fine. I need to clean up the screws. There's a little bit of epoxy in the threads, which I don't like, so I've got wire brush, but I think I may take those home and put them on a wire wheel instead, just for expediency. So the next step in the cockpit hatch project will be to cut and place the gasket, which is a good thing. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Near the end of another day, and I've got just about everything I wanted to get done. I have re-epoxied the fiberglass nuts in the cockpit. I've got the control lines and the control head sorted out. I have not sanded down the inside of the hatch here, and I finished one more project, well, almost finished, one more task that I didn't mention before, and I'd like to show you because it's kind of cool. My new gap mask gate. The lugs slide up past it nice and easy, and it's fairly simple and elegant, just 2 set screws, piece of aluminum. I had to bend the aluminum to accommodate the curve of the mast, but other than that, it's done. Well, almost. I said almost because when I tapped out the 2 holes, I broke the tap in this hole. So the tap is actually still in there, so I can't turn the screw in. So I got to figure out how to get the tap out and carry on from there. Another stellar day of getting things done on the boat. Every day brings me that much closer. Still haven't figured out why my tack isn't working, but I will do that and start making the carpet looking presentable. We'll get to that soon. But I think the rain is supposed to be coming back. It's a beautiful day today, but I can see clouds way over there that look kind of rainy. So if that is the case, I won't be able to do much work here in the cockpit. Maybe I'll find other things to do. We shall see. In the meantime, fair winds, following seas, and God bless.